Hello.
Oh, we're here. We're live,
We are live. Podcast number 33.
33, in downtown sunny Las Vegas.
Yep. We're joined by Miss Caroline Powell. Say hello, Caroline.
Hello.
Yeah, Caroline's, she says, I thought it was a radio studio. I didn't know it was like this.
Yes.
Of course, I was
No
just
clue.
telling her, she says, I just wanted to hear all the scuttlebutt. I says, you can hear it in New York just as fast as you can hear it in Las Vegas.
But it's more fun live.
There you go. More fun live. And first of all, Justin's going to give a little 2-second thing. TAR 31's coming up.
Yeah, TAR 31 is it's going to be not this weekend, next weekend.
Yep.
It's February 15th through 17th. Mike DeShane's taking on Shane Van Boening. Van Boning. I got called on that. We are going to flip these rails off and put standard pockets on.
That'll happen Monday, just so you know.
Monday, okay. And
Go to 4.5s.
yeah, there was a lot of debate back and forth. It was a great reaction to that thread.
That
we
was
had on
some
AZ.
real good response.
Yeah, some great points on both sides. I don't think anybody's wrong. We're going to go back to the 4.5s, see what the matches look like, because I think they were kind of dragging with these tight pockets.
See, I'm going to kind of disagree, but I agree with the end result. I think that everybody overreacted to the tough. It was just Appleton and Shane just struggled. It's the same thing. That's the same table with Shane running all those packs on Alex. It's the same one that he and Orculo played. But I think Justin hit it better. The commentators were spending more time talking about the table than the pool.
Yeah.
So screw it. And I think it's really nice to have a constant measuring stick. So now everybody can say, wow, he did a 9-pack, and I go to the pool hall and I only get a 1-pack. See, they can't go to the pool hall and play on this table. So it's not apples and oranges.
Yeah, that's kind of one
So
of my. I like the idea of standardization
Yep.
for one reason is that if there's a tough out or a shot and a player misses it, a guy can go to his pool room that has a standard diamond, set it up, and see how hard or easy it is.
And I agree. But then, of course, to contradict that, then at the Derby, you had everybody playing on the 10s, which made a huge buzz. There's some pretty awesome pool on that 10. By the way, a shout out to Max Eberly, local boy now, winning the straight pool. He did really well. You're shaking your head. Were you there, young lady?
No.
Well, you have to say something. You can't just sit there. Listen, everybody says you're one of the nicest people in the world, and I don't believe them.
Well,
I just don't believe them.
You're a player. What's your opinion on tight pockets? Do you like them, or do they take you out of your game? I'm going these pockets. You get balls
Yeah,
later.
these are
They're
really
like
tight.
ooh.
They're tough. Yeah. I know.
Well, I think tight pockets are great for practicing, but it doesn't give you much leeway to cheat the pocket. And if you want to work more on your positioning, I think it's a little harder because you have to be a lot more accurate with your pocketing. But like you said, there are pros and cons to tight pockets. But again, under immense pressure, it's a lot tougher for great players to run out more frequently.
Remember, normal humans weren't playing on this table.
Yes,
These were the
exactly.
elite players, and that's the argument to keep it tight.
Well,
That's
at the same time, that argument has another side, and that is people say, I want to see great players play great. I don't want to see great players look like normal humans.
Yeah, that's true. Let's not dummy them down too far.
And I've had players tell me after playing on this table, they say, this table's too tough.
Can't get their groove going.
Because I can't play my normal game on it. And to me, that's always been the dividing line. If it gets to the point where a guy is so uncomfortable that he can't do what what got him there, and that's being a great player because of the equipment, then you've got an issue.
And everybody has to understand, we don't have any skin in this game, so to say. It's not like it hurts our pride to change the rails.
No.
We're here to give the best product possible. We're an entertainment company, if you put lack of better word. That's why you're here, is for entertainment too, by the way.
I'm getting entertained by you guys.
Something else we're going to do new, we're lengthening the races this time a little bit. They're raced to 27 instead of 25. That was kind of a concession to changing the pockets up. People asked for a little longer races. Talked to the players. I recommended 30. They were, it's always got to be something else besides what you recommend. So
You can't accept the first offer. Come on.
So 27 is where we're at.
Magic rack?
Magic rack.
Any other,
winter breaks.
Rack your own?
You know, I would not be opposed to having Bill rack the balls.
Yeah, if we can work it out with Bill. See, there's a lot of discussion going on AZ Billiards, and they were talking about manipulation of the rack. And I don't want that. I don't like pattern racking either. Now,
Pattern racking doesn't bother me. I mean,
There's still skill involved with pattern racking.
Yeah,
but
I'm of the opinion that, well, you know, the way I look at it, if you go 1 ball, 2, 3 in the corners,
talking 10 ball.
yeah. I mean it's a mandatory pattern
Yeah.
rack.
Right.
And what they put in the middle, I don't care.
Yeah.
The guy's still got to run the balls. It's 10 ball. You're
Yeah.
not. It ain't Donnie Mills up here breaking a 9 ball rack,
Yeah.
shooting them in the
Yeah.
same holes.
Right.
Yeah, 9 ball is the one that really gets abuse on the forums and everything because it's a broken game. You got to be
biggest-
so careful.
Right.
My biggest pet
9
peeve
ball.
with racking is guys taking forever to do it.
I totally agree.
That tilts the
At Derby,
shit
they're
out of
saying,
me.
we've got enough shot clocks. We need a rack clock. And I totally agree. Nothing ruins the game faster than everybody jacking around with this rack. And then, 15 years ago down at the Swanee tournament in San Diego, I started racking your own. I was the first major tournament that I know of that started racking your own because these guys were just scrutinizing. I mean, it was ridiculous. It ruins pool.
No,
does.
it's what.
I love Earl for that. It took Earl a whopping 15 seconds to
Sure.
find the balls, rack the balls, and break them.
Yes.
I've seen it a couple times in the finals and semifinals at the U.S. Open, where
brutal.
it turns into
A rack fest.
yeah, and it gets in the guys' heads and it's horrible. It's a terrible thing. That's why one of the reasons I'm a big fan of the Magic rack, especially in tournament play, is you put the balls in and you break them. You know, and I've got no problem with putting them. I have no problem at all with the ref racking the balls for our matches.
I don't
Yeah,
either.
I agree.
But we'll have to see because he's doing time clock and referee. We'll have to see. I'm sure he can do it.
I don't
so.
see why he couldn't.
Yeah.
I mean, throw the balls in the rack.
Hey, you're going to be in town, aren't you?
Oh.
Oh, you're going to leave. Well, we could have a rack girl.
Depends. I don't know with the
Listen,
snow and all. I
That's
might be-
true. She's going back to snow.
Yeah,
New York, New
great.
York. It's a wonderful town.
There's nothing worse than if you're a spectator and you see 2 of the greatest players just
Arguing,
arguing about the rack and everything. So
But years
Yeah.
ago, using a standard rack.
Back in Alaska.
No, this is actually in California, but Alaska, we had this, but like if you and I were playing and you have to rack for the opponent, I'd come over, you'd get done, I'd say no. And I'd have you so flustered racking for me that you're like this. Pretty soon, I've seen guys,
Right.
not quite as
Well,
strong
I've
players,
se- I've seen
and that's
guys
why
walk
rack your own
away.
came. It
I've
just
seen guys say rack them yourself. I'm not doing
that's
this.
how rack your own came about.
Right.
And so this racking thing has just gotten bizarre. So,
Yeah.
so
It's
I don't know.
because pool players are nuts.
they always
players
they
are
always
nuts.
come up with something.
It's always something.
New.
Well,
Yeah.
Shane said something the other, and I got some people on Facebook got a kick out of it.
is that Shane's prediction?
Well, he
Your
was
little-
saying something, and he was something about the conditions or whatever, and I just real deadpan was like, "Was the carpet too soft?" And I don't think he even noticed it because that's my thing. I'm convinced the next thing is going to be it's the rails are
Right.
too bouncy, the pockets are too tight, and
The-
the carpet's
The
all
question's too
messed
soft.
up.
It's
Yeah,
all
or
mushy.
too hard.
Yeah, something
one or
off
the other.
balance.
Yeah. Carpet's off.
It's not level.
Speaking of
Yeah.
Shane, I got a chance to watch your little 59-second.
Yep. Filmed that right after
that-
the Appleton match.
That was kind of funny. Shane's trying to be.
He's trying to
He's
woof
trying
a
to be the
little.
shit master, and
He's trying to talk a little bit. Well, there is some
There's some-
serious
yes, yeah.
tension between those two because Mike has been. I mean, he'll send texts to Shane.
yeah, some of them are,
And-
they're not public. They're not PG. I'll
Okay.
tell you what.
And it's like he sends him these little zingers, and it's like it's been an ongoing thing for a while now. So,
But if you
it's-
get a chance, then just go to Tar's Facebook page, right?
yeah, it's on Facebook. It's on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Mike is supposed to be creating a response video. He said
Oh,
he's
I
going to.
The duel of
Gonna
the videos.
retaliate.
Said he's going to post that hopefully tomorrow. But
That's funny.
I'm looking forward to it.
Should be an
He might-
interesting,
He might
rack.
get creative with that.
Well, the scuttlebutt is, on the thread and everything, they're thinking that this is going to be some packages run.
I think
Mike's
so.
very capable. He
Yes.
kind of ticked off Johnny Archer. He ran
what-
8 3/4
yeah.
racks
At
in a
the,
race to 9.
At the Turning Stone that he won.
No, at my event.
Oh,
At the
at your
U.S.
event.
Open 10 ball.
Last year,
Right.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think somebody broke, didn't make the one, made a safe, and he ran the set.
That's insane.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's got a lot of firepower.
He's got a lot of firepower. And somebody says that Shane's break will just kill Mike. Don't bet on it.
No,
Mike
Mike's
hits him
got a
harder.
hell of a break.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a control factor,
Yeah.
but Mike hits him harder. He's
Harder.
what, 36, 37? You had him clocked out here not too long
People
ago.
have said, well, I think, you're just opening the pockets because it'll help Shane.
You know,
Personally, I think it helps Mike. I mean, I think because Mike is that wide open offensive.
yeah.
Because
100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
I mean, and when it works, he's a steamroller.
yeah,
And
He-
Shane has that gear too, but
Yeah.
Shane's safety play,
it's pretty tricky. Yeah,
yeah,
he's
is
yeah.
legit. I mean,
Yeah.
he's very good at that. And not to say Mike's not, but I mean,
I was watching Mike DeShane play at Turning Stone,
Mm-hmm.
and he was just firing them in.
He does it. He's got
Yeah.
he's got a
Running
power
routes,
gear.
yeah.
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 And he's not afraid of anything.
No.
Yeah.
So he's fun to watch, especially when he's, he didn't have the greatest Moscone Cup. You could see he wasn't comfortable. But then I don't think anybody's ever comfortable
Yeah.
in that
It's
situation.
Well,
a totally different type
Yeah.
of pressure, anyways.
It's pretty unique,
Yeah.
especially over there. I mean, you're surrounded. I mean, you got like 9 Americans and
Yeah.
500 Brits.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know,
No, yeah, it's a
You know,
terrible
it's tough.
atmosphere for
Yeah.
visitors.
it's a great venue though.
But Mike's been, he's been headhunting top players for a while. Was it 3 years ago? Yeah, 3 years ago he beat Alex with Mars breaking for Alex.
Oh yeah, at the Derby. Yeah.
He was just looking for a little something.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
And he was
He
dominant.
played
in that
very
set.
good. That's the first time I actually saw him play.
Yeah.
And he was out from everywhere.
And he's not afraid. People act like for some reason he might be afraid of Shane. He's not afraid of Shane.
And he's also the one that called out this Jason
Shaw.
that is
Oh, right.
playing Bustamante here next couple of days, and he's a similar player to DeShane. Very aggressive, not afraid of anything, just shoot the ball in the hole. So it's all about different. Not everybody's the same, so let's just see what happens. And then after that, you're going to try and get some. There's some talk about.
Well, we're going
all-arounds.
to try and get. There's so many good players around
Well-
for Swanee and for Reno. I would love to be able to put something together. Maybe because Reno's going to be a pay-per-view too,
Right.
and we're doing this one, and then we've got a week break, and then we go to Reno.
Yeah, Reno is the U.S. Bar Table Championship.
And
February 25th.
I don't want to get into that thing we did this summer where we're stacking pay-per-views back to
Yeah.
back to back. It burns people out.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's one of those deals to where if you can get a guy like Bustamante,
Right.
you almost
Who wants
have
to play again? He said,
Yeah,
he's on the
so-
East Coast now, but he's coming to the bar table. He's coming to Swanee.
Well, I've been told my little buddy Alex is going to be running around
Yeah.
out here at that time. I would love nothing more than to get Alex and Boosty together in an all-around. That would be sick.
Wow, that would be.
That would be sick.
That would be really good.
And if we had to do that the following weekend after Reno, if we could talk those guys into it, I would love to do it. And let the chips fall where they may. But, if we could put something like that together, you have to do it no matter what.
Well, and then after, we still have the unknown of when is bonus ball going to open, because when bonus ball finally gets rolling, we're going to have a lot of players in
Yes.
town.
Well, there are quite a few already.
I know Darren's here. I mean,
Yeah.
when I tell you,
Stevie's here.
you can go on our website at CSI,
Mm-hmm.
Play CSI and everything, and you can see who signed up for the Swanee and the bar table.
Right.
I mean, this is going to be tough action. I'm telling you what.
Well, somebody said
Man.
you better check with bonus ball first. So that's the beauty
Yeah.
of Alex and Boosty. They're not playing bonus ball.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, we'll see. We've danced with them for 4 months, and we got to quit dancing.
Right.
Masarib 5 says, I really need to introduce the MEZZ girl. Evidently, you weren't here at the beginning. The MEZZ girl,
The MEZZ girl, yes.
Hello.
Aren't you going to stand up and do a
Miss
little
Caroline
pirouette
Powell.
or
No, I'm
something?
fine.
Okay, you're fine. This
but-
is Carolyn Powell,
Yeah.
and she was a player on the WPBA.
Yes, I was.
Didn't you? You were on the Kiss of
Years
Death. You won something in our BCA pool league tournament.
Well, I wasn't on the team, the Kiss of
Oh.
Death from New York, but I was on the New York Dolls. We won it, I think, twice in the Masters.
See, you're a champion.
Thank you. No,
Yeah,
I
and you are.
wish.
You wish.
I'm a part of a champion team. How's
I
that?
see. Do you
Yes.
still play very much?
I Not very much, but I do.
got a table in your
Yeah,
house.
I do, and it's four, and it's 4 1/4 pockets.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but
Well, there's the rails we need next time we have a
there.
debate.
Exactly. Just come on over.
That's actually what everyone's saying, 4 1/4.
I do, but you know what? I enjoy it much more now as a hobby, leisure type of thing. You know, get a chance to play with my. I mean, I play at Amsterdam Billiards and their
Yeah.
league with my friends. You know, Buddha among a few of them. So
Yeah,
yeah,
Hi, Buddha. Hi, Monkey.
Yeah. Hey, talk about MEZZ a little bit. I mean, you are MEZZ USA. You're the
We had
exclusive
we had
distributor.
an interesting
Well,
question.
yes.
What is what is involved?
What do you
owning
do?
MEZZ USA?
nothing.
Well,
I
the,
sit back and
the
relax.
stick is
on
so
it.
good it sells itself.
Exactly.
And you know, I've heard good things about MEZZ.
Yeah, why don't you tell
Alex
us
used
about
to
him?
play with him. I don't know if he still does. Or,
No, he doesn't.
Alex is
He's
with
with
the- oh,
OB.
he's signed with OB.
Yeah,
That's right.
but we
I knew that.
actually just signed Stevie Moore,
okay.
so he's joined the team.
Okay.
Well, you know, it all started with Mika Immonen. He's a MEZZ representative for a very long, I don't know, for how many years now. And since, you know, we were really good friends, we decided to
Jump in.
Yeah, jump in. Although MEZZ was already working with J&J America and Q-Sticks, then, but we kind of helped them with the whole promotional aspect, marketing in the United States and also in Canada. So that's how it all started. What can I say? The product is excellent.
Yeah.
I mean,
You guys have made some great inroads too. It's I see a lot more people talking about MEZZ over the last
we
3 or
try.
4 years.
Yeah, we do try. It's a third family generation run.
Made in
yeah,
Japan, right?
made in Japan
Oh, see,
factory.
you
small
know, everything made in
factory.
Japan. That's a joke. When I was growing up, made in Japan,
Yeah.
throw it away. Not true anymore.
Now it's made in China, right?
Yeah, but no, you guys have a great
And
reputation.
Kaz, the
As
owner
copycatters, yeah.
of MEZZ, is he's a super nice guy, and one of
Yes.
the cool things I like about him is he's a legitimate Q nut. I mean,
Yes.
he digs Qs. He's been to the ICCS shows. He's really into Qs, not just the ones he makes. You know, he's not just about cranking out production Qs, which something else that another guy that does a quote unquote production Q company is Don Owen.
Yeah.
He's the same way. Owner of OBQs. He is a Q guy.
He's
He,
Q nut.
he buys other high-end Q guys, and he has a beautiful collection.
Yes.
So to me, that's
It means you got a
that,
little
that
more
means a
heart
lot.
and soul. in it.
Yeah, to me that means a lot in a company that there is, in a production queue, whatever you want to call it, but just knowing that someone there is that passionate about them, that it's not just a SKU that they're trying to sell,
Right.
Right.
is really cool.
How many do you guys? I don't know if you can tell this. How many Qs do you make a year? I mean, do you have a? Actually, it wouldn't be you. It would be.
It was
Kaz,
yeah.
but,
It would be Kaz in Japan.
I mean,
I
how
can't
large
say
are
for
they? Or I'm just
well,
curious because I don't know.
I've been there, and their factory is not very large.
Okay.
I'm thinking they produce about maybe 500 Qs a month.
Okay. Of course, Q shops aren't. I mean, Thomas Wayne's shop is not even as big as this
Right.
building we're in, which is only 1,000 square feet.
Where is Thomas Wayne's shop?
Anchorage, Alaska, obviously. You know.
But the one thing about Kaz, going back to Kaz, is he's very down to earth. He loves Qs, wood. He's always looking for something new, innovative. Oh, what can we do to make this better?
Cool.
Also, he ages the wood for a very long. He has a whole section just storing and turning and aging
Old
the
wood.
wood. Yeah.
That's where I belong.
So that's
MEZZ
No
is big into technology. I
Yes.
mean, he's always trying new stuff. You've got like 30, 40 different kinds of shafts.
no, don't remind me. Yeah, he has a lot of different shafts. But
So
one
you got like
good part.
3 different shafts and like 3 or 4 different joints. How's that
Well,
work?
that-
okay. Let me see. There's the standard shaft. Then we have 3 different types of low deflection shafts.
Okay.
Then we have the brake shaft and 2 other types of brake shafts.
Oh, nice.
So yes, we have quite a number of shafts.
So it's a lot of fun for inventory.
Yeah, so
huh?
it caters
Yeah.
to all the different people with their different needs.
Yeah.
There we go. No, but the best part is that Kaz does always go to his pro players to ask them to, you know, any suggestions, try out their new equipment
Sure,
before
that's
they
cool.
put it. So it's really,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I
a
know that
working
there's a
thing.
big following for the MEZZ break cues and jump cues. I've seen
Yes.
at your.
We
For those
do-
of you who don't know, for a number of years, the only cool place to be in Vegas or Super Billiards Expo was the MEZZ booth, because that's where all the cool people were. So.
Well, that's because you hung out there all the time.
We made that.
That's
You made that video there. What was? Remember the break or something? What were you doing? You how to break this?
Oh, with Sarah.
With Sarah.
Remember with Sarah?
Sarah.
So funny.
Yeah, that was.
forgot
I need to
all
dig
about-
that up.
Yes,
I don't
you
even
do.
know
You
where
have
that
to
is.
put
That-
that on.
that
was
is cool.
Yes,
That
and of
is
course it was
funny.
at the MEZZ booth.
At the
Yeah.
main booth, at the BCA pool.
What,
Yes.
I even forget what that was for. What was that for?
How to break the ball. Sarah was getting
No,
Yeah.
that was
cocky.
for Cleary. Was that for?
Oh, it was
That's
for
the same.
Cleary.
Yes.
That's the same year
That
he was doing the
for
arm wrestling.
Yes,
Huh?
The
that was
Big Tony thing.
Yes, the Big Tony
Oh, shit.
U.S.
That's
Open
right.
thing. That was
Yeah.
the
So
best
funny.
ever. Yes.
Right. Oh, man. Yeah, I've got to dig that up.
You got to dig that up.
It was pretty funny.
But I used to hang out at the MEZZ booth quite a bit when I had a chance. And that's one thing I noticed was people were just going crazy for
Yeah.
those break cues and jump cues.
We actually have a lot of the pro players that are not sponsored by MEZZ, and they all use the MEZZ break cue. A lot of the Filipinos and the Asian players, they all use the MEZZ break cue. And apparently now MEZZ just came out with a new shaft that is heavier. It's about 6 ounces. It's a break shaft.
Wow.
It's made out of this wood that, I don't know, has 12 letters in it. I can't even pronounce it. But
Is it
it's
real
that,
dense?
yeah. It's,
Like, I mean,
it's a very dense.
You know, the more letters in the name. the
Exactly,
denser it
it's
is.
sure.
more exotic, and
Yeah.
you know. But Jeffrey Del Luna, he has a great break. He
Yeah, he's a
breaks with that.
monster.
But yeah, now it's picking up. We have so many people ordering it. You don't have. It's effortless. Basically, you just break at normal speed, and it just.
well, it has
Loads of rack, huh?
well more
Yeah.
mass, but you know, there's 2 theories on that: more mass, less
Speed,
mass.
mass.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mike Siegel used to break with an 18.5-ounce Kirschenbrock. That one where that bent cue with all the famous picture, and he was shooting with a 19.5-ounce cue. It was 18 or 18.5-ounce Kirschenbrock.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
Real whippy.
Shane, for the longest time, broke with his playing cue.
Oh yeah.
And then now, and I only say this because Shane's the only guy whose equipment I'm not familiar with, top player. But over the years,
Right.
because I mean, he broke with his playing cue forever. Then when he went to Q-Tech, started breaking with a break cue, and when him and Mike get in here, I'll have to write down all the stats on their gear.
Yeah.
Because I know Mike plays with a Predator break cue, but I want to say Shane's break cue's like about 20, something like that.
Right.
And it's got the MEZZ does something similar, like that stiff part of the shaft, like the first 6
In the
inches
middle,
of the
yeah.
shaft. Yeah, something. I don't know what material it is, but it's different.
Ounces blow me away. You got somebody like Bustamante. It's over 22 ounces he plays.
my-
His playing
His
cue.
playing cue
It's
is
like
22
a
ounces.
club, and he's been playing with this one. It's from the guy in Germany, I think.
It must
One of
work
them-
for
it
him
Bear.
because he's winning.
It works for
He's-
him.
No,
he's
it is.
winning
It is a.
everything.
I'm like, ooh.
Well, yeah.
But it's he's been using it for years. So,
Yeah.
and somebody asked a question.
Yes.
On the thread on AZ
Yes.
Billiards, and I remember that one. He has an old MEZZ.
Okay.
Plays with that. Has a white joint material, and he asked, "Is that going to be made anymore?" And you just said,
Well,
"No,
no.
we're never going to do it
that
again."
was before my time. But that's okay.
Really?
No, but the good thing is because MEZZ is not like a huge production company, they do take custom orders.
Okay.
So if there's anything, I mean, if they've ever made it, you could order
Okay.
it.
And they
So
just
you have to
contact you, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
And how do they
Yeah.
contact you?
You could email us at info@mezzusa.com,
And what's your website?
mezzusa.com.
That's hard to remember now. MEZZ.
USA.com. Yes.
Does that work from Canada?
Fast Lenny made a good point here.
Oh, yes. Sorry.
And not to cut you off,
Yes.
but he told me something when he came in I did not know. And Ronnie Allen passed away. What did you say? 2 days
Yeah,
ago?
no, I think it was Sunday or Monday. This has been a brutal year. You had Wayne Crane, Grady Matthews, Danny Medina, Ronnie Allen, and Bill Incardona, Billy, put a post on AZ Billiards, and it was said the golden age of pool, and he says started in the late '60s and into the late '80s or something, and
Yeah, I
it
would
was
agree
the
with
golden
that.
age of pool. The McCreadys, the Cole Dixons, the the monsters,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and those it doesn't, and the times were different. It was just different.
Pre-internet, for one.
Well, and action,
yes.
people would
Action.
bet it up.
Yeah.
And I think Billy's right. I think those, and I was kind of the tail end of it, because I mean I was in Alaska. We had pieces of it, but it just nobody came to Alaska back then, you know. But it's really kind of amazing that things have just changed. So
I was thinking about that. and
Ronnie
it's-
he's 74, I believe.
Where was he? Was he?
I believe he's here. I think he died here, but his family's in California. He's got.
Yeah.
There's some really nice posts on AZ Thread about it and everything. And
You know, one of the articles that certain things I read a long time ago, you know how things will stick with you?
Sure.
But Billiards Digest did a great article on Ronnie Allen. God, it would have been 2000, maybe earlier. If anybody's out there has got a bunch of Billiard Digest stuff, and I don't know if their stuff's online, but if you can find it, you ought to check it out. It was a Billiards Digest article profile that they did on Ronnie Allen that was really good. And but that was the first I'd ever heard of him.
Really? See,
Yeah.
no, he was a monster. He changed one pocket.
Yeah,
And
that's
even
what-
to this day, all the old timers say, I don't care how good you think these modern players are. Ronnie Allen would just toast them,
Yeah.
you know. And they were even talking a story about how he was just getting his brains beat in by a guy. Oh, it was Harry Plattis, and Harry was winning, and Ronnie. And somebody said, whoever was watching said, you could just see his eyes, and it was all over. He just come with these shots, and people would say, "Boy, that was a lucky shot." And Nick Varner saying, "Yeah, but he does it all the time." You know,
Yeah.
moves 6 balls out of the hole and sticks you. I mean, the guy was a genius at one pocket. You know, I mean, first time I saw him in the late '70s, cue ball's on the rail, and the ball's here, and he hit the pocket and draws it straight back to the rail again. Try that on Wheaties some morning. It's unbelievable. And he was half shit-faced. You know?
He was just lucky.
Yeah, right.
Just lucky.
Yeah.
Man, no fear.
Right.
But we're going to miss him, and it's kind of a sad time.
I never really know him. I saw him around, things like that.
Yeah.
Never really spoke with him, but I know he was real influential, especially in the one pocket game.
Oh, yeah.
You know, name was always brought up when you talk about the best.
Yeah.
So, what else have we got?
Well, you mentioned the
Swanee.
Swanee a little bit. It's
Filling up with monsters.
yeah. Last time I checked, we had 106 people played, entered, paid, and everything, and that was 3 days ago. So we're probably about 120, 25 by now. We may fill it up this year without even taking any on-site entries. Last year we took like 15.
Okay.
But it's
Can you
That's
give us
great.
any idea of who's playing?
I haven't looked at it lately, but Shane's playing, Bustamante, Santos, Alcano, Alex, Louis Ulrich, Dominguez, a lot,
Yeah.
and DeShane was talking about playing. Corey's thinking about it because, see, you can get both of the tournaments. They're 1 day apart. You just have to figure out how to get to Reno from Los Angeles, but
Sure.
they're 1 day apart. If you take a flight Monday morning, Monday morning, hour flight, there you are. And we expect it to be really pretty substantial. And of course, the Swanee fills up every year. The bar box doesn't have a cap.
Have you ever
so
been to that? Have you ever been out there for that?
No, I haven't.
don't
I heard
ever go.
It is brutal. It's the most brutal tournament
If,
you'll
if
ever.
you want to play, it's awesome.
Okay.
But if you're not playing,
Don't
don't
go.
go.
It's 192 players
In hard times.
at hard times. You got pockets this big and pockets this big.
Okay.
2 days.
You've been in hard
Sweet.
times.
Yes.
I know you've been in hard
I've
times.
been to, yeah.
Imagine
2
192
Yeah,
players.
that's
Yeah.
wow.
And it's every top player from Arizona and California and here,
Now,
there, and
is
everywhere.
It's
is
gonna be
POV
streamed, though,
streaming that?
Yes, POV. Daniel
Okay.
Bush was streaming. We streamed it a couple years ago. Daniel did it last year. He's doing it this year, and he's picked up his speed pretty good on this stuff.
Yeah.
We're going to be maybe doing some things with him. So
I'm sure a
and it's
lot
a
of
magic
people-
rack tournament.
Oh,
And
good.
we bring red circles in. That's so every
yeah.
table has the same because they don't normally have the same. you know.
Same
Yes.
cue balls, or you bring balls and
No,
cue
just
balls?
cue
Cue balls.
And that's an issue because the balls there are old and sometimes they're different sizes. And
Yes.
it can be an issue.
Yeah.
People don't
So
realize
racking's gonna
that in
be
balls.
Yeah, no,
Harder.
a lot of
There we
fun.
go, racking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, people don't realize the one ball is the first one to shrink, and then the 8 and the 9. And then one ball shrinks because it's in the front. It's
Yeah,
getting the
it
crap
gets hit,
pounded
yeah.
out of it. But people blame things on everything. No, just go get some new balls. They work fine. But new balls are expensive and blah, blah, blah. But
Also pounding on
Why
the
don't
table.
you just bring 30 sets of balls?
because I might not
Baller?
get them all back.
So
So, yeah, sure.
Have a ball patrol
you'll make
person.
at least $500,000 on that tournament.
Yeah.
No, I can't
Yeah,
because
exactly.
it's
Saw it on
blind
the
spot.
internet.
Did
Yeah.
you rent it on the internet? Yeah, and this
It
is
must
my
be
date.
It must be true if it was on the internet. Come on.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Let's go.
I know you make $10 million in May.
Yeah,
Yeah,
always,
exactly.
always. Probably the biggest thing is, Jeanette Lee got inducted into
Yes.
women's
Oh.
the WPBA, and their event is going on right now.
Right at the Soaring Eagle.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. There's just a lot going on. We were going to do a recap on the Derby a little bit. Their numbers were down some. The 10-foot caused a lot of buzz. Corey Deuel finally won an event.
What do you want?
The Banks beat Bustamante in the finals.
Did he? Yes.
Good
Was
for
he?
him.
Am I backwards? I knew that fresh in my head. I was right there.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I
I know he
Boost-
won something.
Yeah, and Boosty won the one pocket.
Yeah.
And I didn't watch the 9-ball, but
Who won the all
Yes.
around?
Boosty.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
came in second, and at the Banks. I
He
think.
came in first,
First,
and won,
second, and then do you go deep in 9-ball?
deep enough, but not real deep.
Right.
$100 or something,
So he made a little score then. It's 20,000 for the all around.
Right, and
Good
plus
for him.
10 for the first and 6 for the second.
36,000. Right on.
He's in action.
Go Boosty.
No, it
Come
couldn't
on
happen to a
over
nicer
to
guy.
Tar. Yeah.
And like I say, Corey finally won a thing, and Alex did.
That's crazy that he had never won a Derby event before.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's hard to believe.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's been a monster since the Derby's been around.
Well, yeah, he Corey's been playing too much golf and stuff for the last 10 years.
Well-
We all know that. And
well,
he knows
but
that.
I think the problem, a lot of it is the Derby is a hard-ass tournament to win.
Short races and
And
everything
not only
else.
that, but
Grueling
for
matches.
a lot of years, you never knew when the hell you were going to
Yeah,
play.
it's still a little
Yeah.
awkward, but
I
they've got
mean, it
they've got
was-
the system much better.
Yeah, I mean, it's gotten a lot better, but I remember a few years, whew,
Yeah.
you're up third on table 86. We have no idea when that will be.
Yeah, yeah. Now, as a side note, when we had Appleton and Shane playing here, remember the kid that came in here,
What's his name? Pettigrew or
Stu Petman?
Petman? Yeah.
Guess who got the high run in the straight pool on the 10-footers?
Yeah.
He got the 2 highest. He hit 100 and 117. Guy is
He's a great player.
he is a great player.
Appleton told me, he said if that guy played the tour, he would be top 10 player.
He was
That good.
yeah and
What's
I'd
up with
never
the
even heard of him
Can I
before.
ask you what's up with all the 10-foot tables going around?
Well, it's just a thing that Greg Sullivan's trying to push, and I can see what he's saying a little bit. It is it's more difficult. I mean, the straight pool nuts are in love with them.
Okay.
Really?
Oh, it just changes the game. I mean, it's tough, especially with 4.5-inch pockets. Now everybody forgets when they played on 10-footers in the 30s and the 40s, they were
5
5
inch?
1/4
Oh,
Okay.
fine.
Wow.
and no shelf. I mean, they're like,
So you get it close and it goes
Yeah.
in.
But it's changed straight pool. Niels Fayen
Yeah.
plays real good on him. And in fact, he came in second in the straight pool, I think. Max won it, and Max has a 10-foot
Yeah.
table to practice
Oh,
on here
wow.
at Best Billiards.
Yeah.
Little different pockets and everything.
Because it's getting really, popular in the East Coast too.
but no, there's only like 1 or 2 tables on the East Coast.
Yeah, but
AccuStats is using
yes,
it.
at Sandcastle.
Yeah, and
Billiards,
so that's making it appear-
At
and it-
Steinway.
Oh,
I
do
think
they have one there
for
too?
Earl? Because Earl's
Okay, 'cause
like
Earl,
the
yeah.
resident.
Earl!
Yes, house pro at Steinway.
Well,
that's all,
listen,
yeah.
it changes the game. Will they ever be mainstream? I don't believe so, because the real estate and the price.
Right.
They're an expensive table. They take up too much space. But I think it's great to have another option. And,
I think they're good for what they're being used for at Derby. The side tournaments, the little challenge
Yeah.
things. I think that's cool. I mean, I think the last thing pool needs is another variable for tournament play
Yeah.
or stuff like that. But I think it's interesting.
the one thing you have to keep in mind, and this is really, most people don't realize that, but the 7-foot table the 9-foot table and the 10-foot table, and if you order an 8-foot table, the smart table models,
Right.
all the same pocket.
Yeah.
All 4.5s.
Right.
So you do have a consistency. So now you can liken it to a golf course. There's the hole, and you can, for ladies tees, normal
Right.
tees, pro tees. That's all. It's, you
Well,
know.
and they're different games too, because you start playing 8-ball on a 7-footer, you better have a real good cue ball.
Yeah, because
You
the
don't have
clusters.
a whole lot of play 8-ball on a 9-foot table. It's a lot easier game.
If you can, yeah. But
If
you
you're a
get more
shot maker,
distance.
yeah.
But it was interesting. The people that loved them really loved
Love
them. But it's a oddball situation.
Speaking of bar tables, we've
Yes.
got U.S. Bar Table Championship coming up. Tar will be streaming that again this year.
Yeah, and the dates on that is February 25th to March 2nd. And we say the 3rd, but we think we'll be finished late on the 2nd. Might have a couple of finals on the 3rd or something. Great venue, Grand Sierra. You've been there. It's awesome. I mean, the only thing I can say is was it $23 all you can eat sushi? That was pretty damn
Yeah,
good.
and it was.
And-
Yeah,
yeah.
the new
That's
hotel
great.
is so.
And they just put
much
another
nicer,
60
man.
million into
Yeah,
it.
it's a whole. It's a
It's
whole
just-
nother tournament now.
And
it's
it's
a completely different
$44
tournament.
and $50 room if you go through the
You
our
need to
block.
get your road dog Sarah Rousey out
I
there.
know.
Oh, you guys
Oh
would
my
have.
gosh.
We have women's tournaments.
Really?
We have 3. It's 10 ball,
You know, she's
9 ball, 8
dying
ball.
to get
She's
out.
got to be.
know.
I
10
mean,
ball, 9 ball, 8 ball, men's events, women's events, and second chances if you don't cash.
She can even bring that dirty immigrant husband of hers.
She's locked up at home.
Inferners.
Exactly. Lost in the cornfield.
But it's also, and 25,000 added.
Oh wow.
And free internet in the rooms, no resort, free shuttle to the airport, and it's
Wow.
just it's the nuts. I mean, really,
It's a lot of fun.
It
It
is a great
Get to play
tournament.
3 tournaments, and this year greens fees, right?
This year includes
No
green fees,
quarters.
minis. We'll have
Or
minis.
as
No.
Thorsten would
Wow.
say, no token.
No token.
Yeah, that was funny. When you,
No
you'd
token.
never seen a token before or
Do
something.
you have token for me? No, I don't have tokens for you. No token. I saved a token. That was a lot of fun that year.
And he got, I don't know, he got the drunkest he'd ever been in his life. He missed his flight.
Really?
Oh my
Oh, you
goodness.
didn't know
remember
that?
that.
He rode in the back of my Mercedes with Sonny and I. We drove him back to Las Vegas.
Wow.
He was.
That's
he
awesome.
said,
It must
he
have
says
been
the
a
drunkest
riot.
I've ever been in my life.
Did he win something? Now, I'll tell you, at the Sands, there's been some wild stories.
Well, 99-cent beers.
Yeah, I've had some of the wildest times around pool have been at that stupid little shitty hotel. I mean, I could tell some stories. And that dice table. Oh,
If it could talk.
If that dice table could talk. Wow.
Yeah,
But-
but if you've never, it really is. It's a lot of bang for your buck at Reno. It really is. I mean, it's the cheap hotel rates, and
I'll
it's
tell you
just
what, man, the new hotel,
This
I
is-
can't say enough about it.
Same place the IPT held their event.
Oh, okay.
But
Big
we
now
actually
it's-
pay.
ballrooms,
Oh, you-
clean.
We're waiting for FedEx to deliver the checks, but we do.
Oh.
Ooh,
But I'm really looking forward to that.
No
That's one. I
comment.
don't travel much anymore, on purpose, pretty much. But I do look forward to Reno every year. Now, I
Yeah.
didn't really. It was like a.
oh, it gave you
it was,
fits.
It was a pain in the ass at the
couldn't-
old place, but
his signal. I mean, they
Yeah.
couldn't give us internet service
Yeah.
adequate because it was
was
all
a nightmare.
airborne.
But the new place is really cool. Andy Chen's going to be going with me
Cool.
Oh, cool.
this year to help again. He was there.
And we
So-
take the arena up there and make it
Yeah.
look nice and
Right.
nice seat. This room
When
is
is
so
this again?
big.
February 25th through March
March
2nd,
Yeah.
something like that.
This room is big enough. We have
John, you get your
Yeah.
girl.
yeah, we have 40 bar
Come out for a
tables.
week.
Sarah Rousey.
Yeah.
40 bar tables and 10 9-footers because the World PPA does their event.
Right.
But they don't start their event till Thursday, so we actually have 9-footers for use from Monday to Thursday.
Room's
But
open
this-
all night long for
This
practice.
room is big enough that we
Wow.
could put another 40 tables in there. That's how much space we have.
Wow, that's
This is
nice.
as big as almost as big as one of the ballrooms at the Riviera.
Yeah.
And no
And it's-
token?
No token.
tokens.
Gotta
Which
go.
is awesome.
Road trip
for,
time.
Which is awesome for
Yeah.
everyone because nobody likes plugging quarters
Yeah.
and all that crap. It's
Yeah.
more expense for the promoters because you got to take all that stuff.
Yeah, and
and
you
maintain it.
you got to have mechanics.
You got to
and
have
blah,
people
blah, blah.
there when the tables lock up. It's good. I'm really looking forward to it. I think that was a great decision.
Yeah. Well, we had to get to a certain body count before we could do that.
Right.
Otherwise, you come up short. You can't.
Right.
You know? So, I don't know. Do you have any interesting questions, or
What
any of
else
your
we
buds
got?
out there saying anything interesting? Because
All right, here we go. And here's the other question: are you going to Greens Feast for Nationals?
Yes.
Have you made that announcement?
we
Okay.
have, and there's a thread on AZ Billiards, and I addressed some of the questions.
Well, address this one.
Okay.
You think you will get some complaints because of the teams that go 2 and out having to pay so much for the green fee? How much is a greens fee?
The green fee is $175, 5-man team. That's
Okay.
$35 a person.
That's not much.
Well, it's less than
35 games a person? That's
Well,
not
but
much.
if they only come for the event of their actual team, they're coming up short. But here's what you get: no admittance for 3 pro events.
Yeah.
That's the U.S. Open 10 ball.
Plus they get the
late ball.
practice free, right?
They get practice free, minis, no coins. We're going to have pros giving group lessons. They get that free.
Yeah.
You
plus
got
you're
Randy
gonna have-
Gottlicher, free class. I mean, we
Wow.
got so much free stuff.
Well, you're also going to be able to stick a lot more tables in there, right?
We're going to have 70 more tables. There's going to be dedicated practice tables and dedicated mini tournaments. We're hoping to run mini tournaments from 9 a.m. to midnight.
Yeah.
And there's so many more things that I get a little upset because people don't look at the whole picture. Yeah, if you are, we want, as we say, we want you to experience the experience.
Yeah.
If you're just coming because I want to play 2 and out, you're not getting your money's worth. But we're trying to make you a better player and introduce you to things, and you get to watch. I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, then we have the juniors there this year. You get to watch that. We've got the world trick shot there. All this is
Wow.
free, and it's just, and we've had. You see, I was trying not to rant this week. No, but
Yeah.
but really, I have to laugh because we've had people say it shouldn't be more than $10 a person. I say, wait a minute. And I've told one guy, says, well, then we'll be playing in Albuquerque because that's as far as $10 worth of fuel will get the tables.
Yeah.
People don't understand what it costs over $100 in
Yeah.
fuel per table just to get them here.
Yeah.
I mean, here and back.
Right.
Doesn't count putting them in. Doesn't count hanging the lights. You know, and it's an expensive proposition. And yes, it's a lot more money, but not to people that go deep. But it's all we have second chances, no
I mean,
coins.
just
it just goes
speaking
on
from
and
my
on and
point
on.
of view, if I can go play whenever I want to play,
Yeah.
and just hit balls, that's way worth it.
Yeah, we're
For $35?
Yeah.
Jeez, man.
Yeah, for 10 days, 9
Yeah,
days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone that
it's-
complains about that,
Look at the big picture, and we're less than like the other group that went to Green Fees a couple years ago. We're lower than they are. We have twice as many players, twice as many tables and things going on. Besides
they're
that,
diamonds, right?
and we're adding $90,000 about every. This is an approximate number every year. That's to the amateur events, not counting the 60 that's added to the pro events. I mean, this thing going to the Rio is going to take this thing and take it from it's going to blow this thing up.
Yeah.
I'm telling you what, it's going to be in a couple of years.
Does
It's
that
going to be
mean
off the charts.
he's not going to get his whole 10 million this year?
who?
Yeah, my 10 million. I gave up my $10 million worth of coin drop.
You know, every national.
He's probably getting like a 90% room rebate. Don't
Yeah,
worry
Yeah.
about
Oh
it.
yeah. They pay us to show up.
Yeah, exactly.
We're famous. We're pool players.
You know, the room costs you $80. He gets 70 of it.
Exactly.
But anyhow, I mean, but I appreciate the question. And if anybody has any questions on that, you can call me at the office. You can send me an email. Or
Yeah,
there,
are
like
you
said,
going to
there's a
try to
thread.
avoid another Taiwan gate this year?
Oh,
Yeah. Well, we're not the only ones that gets gated every once in a while. You know, it's kind of funny because if you go back 5 or 6, 7 years, you know, Appleton and Boys and those guys were all on
right.
one team.
The Portuguese team came in,
I have
right?
no
And
idea.
then-
Spanish teams
Yeah,
used to do
Spanish.
it. Yeah. And we've kind of caught all their stuff.
So why don't you just say, okay, if you're from a foreign team, you got to play in the highest division?
Well, we have been doing that, you know. The
But
Taiwan,
just not last year.
No, the Taiwan deal, the guy. I mean, the history was he.
I
used-
love giving them shit.
I know.
the-
man.
He used to live here,
Oh,
and you know quite a few people that know him.
How do I know quite a few people?
Well,
don't you
because,
know everyone here?
because one of them is real good friends with you.
Oh,
know.
And but you don't know that. But and he was. they
But
actually-
I don't know that. I love the way his
The
mind
guy, no,
works.
the guy moved on us. The guy moved on us. That's why we handled it the way we handled it.
okay.
He was very lucky he got anything.
Well, see, that was always been
See?
my.
But that's the thing. I don't think the
We're going
public.
to have this argument right now,
I
by
don't
the
think
way.
that the public knows about that part.
No,
of
I
that
mean, we
whole
said we
deal.
Well, see,
did-
my thing was, first of all, you tell what happened, and then you tell what you did,
No, I'm
and
not
then
gonna say
I'll
what
tell
happened
you where you were wrong.
It's too long of a story. We actually had a release. It's still on our site, I think. Although our new sites are getting ready to go up, so they're moving things around. But there was maybe by their standards in Taiwan, they were open players. But he had enough experience playing here. He went to college in St. Louis.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so Now
I know.
Do you know who it is?
No, but I remember the story. Watches knew the dude.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
They were teammates at one time.
Okay.
So, and it was an unfortunate situation.
I don't think you should have given him anything.
No, I didn't feel right on that. I mean, because they had a huge
It's
amount
one
of
of the other. To
expense.
me, it's one of the others. I don't care.
Well-
If they moved and they were cheating, to hell with them.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
wouldn't
but-
go so far as to actually call it cheating.
Yeah.
But it was sure fudging.
Taking
So-
advantage of.
Well, yeah.
It's one of those bad situations
Yeah.
that
There is no
you
win.
know you've probably done the right thing when nobody's happy.
Well, that's probably true.
True. You probably know
Yeah.
you've done the right thing
Yeah.
when everybody's pissed off.
Well, the
So-
guy that won first place by default, who had come in third prior,
Right.
is actually from Chicago, and he was at the Derby, and he came. We talked for a little bit, and he said, "I think you handled it right." Of course, yeah, he got a bonus, but by the same token, I mean, we did the best we could do.
Right.
It's a mess.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
and
just
that's one
unfortunate
reason.
for the people that played
Yeah.
that team.
Yeah,
and,
it was singles. It was.
Yeah.
It was,
And
Or
that
the
and that to
singles,
me
yeah.
is one of the reasons why.
it was the singles that got.
And I could see the biggest bitch is if I had paid to get in that tournament,
Right.
and then you disqualify them, but yet still give them money.
Meanwhile,
Where does
you
that
went
money
like,
come from?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It comes out of the prize fund.
Well, sure.
And
But we didn't-
that to
but-
me that would put
yeah.
me over the edge.
Well, we cut back on what they got. We did some. I can't even remember the prorations, and everybody.
But you
that they
disqualified them, right?
beat, yeah, we took away their title. We didn't throw them out. We just took. You didn't come in first and second.
Okay.
You didn't. You're not on the record books. And we took everybody that got to the big board, which is the last 64, that lost to these guys.
Yes.
They got up. I came up with this complicated math thing, and as what position you got, and everybody got a little piece of what they
Okay.
didn't get.
Right.
So, it was, I mean, I mean, anybody wants to see it, I'll do
I
it.
still
That's
think
really-
you.
Yeah, that's
I still think you
I
were
should have
soft.
shot him. I should have.
I still think you
know?
were soft. You should have
Well,
told
we
him.
are in Las
You shouldn't have
Vegas.
given him
I mean,
anything.
come on,
Yeah,
we're in
yeah.
the desert, right?
Everybody write to mark@playbcapool.com
Or play CSI pool.
and play CSI pool and
And
tell,
give me hell.
and tell him that he shouldn't have given me anything.
Oh,
That's right. We should have.
you're mean.
Should have bought Tar a new camera with all that money.
Exactly.
No, you should have
No.
paid it to the people who paid it into the prize fund who didn't
Well-
get disqualified.
It was an interesting
Yeah.
situation. It was a learning experience, like
Learning
everything
experience.
is. But it's tough. It's tough to
H-Nut
track.
said, now let the chick talk.
Yeah.
Oh.
Go ahead, Mark.
Let the chick talk.
Caroline's a woman, if in
Oh.
case you haven't noticed.
Oh, excuse me.
You're the chick.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Oh
Now,
my
you live in
God,
New
man.
York, right?
Yes, I do.
You
Oh,
play
well,
pool at Amsterdam Billiards?
She's a Jersey girl.
I moved to New Jersey.
Okay.
But I do play at Amsterdam Billiards in the
Okay.
league. I also go to Sandcastle every so often.
Okay.
We have Earl now in New York, which
Well, you know
is
something?
great.
We don't have Earl.
Which is great.
I mean, it's so fun
Well,
watching him.
Alcano's been running around
Yes,
there,
and
right?
Dennis is
Bustamante's
there.
there right now.
Yes, actually, as a matter of fact,
He's giving
Bustamante is
lessons.
giving a clinic at
Sandcastle.
Sandcastle on Monday.
And he's playing Jason Shaw on
Yes.
February 13th.
Correct.
So we
AccuStats.
have Jason
On the 10-footer.
Yep.
Yeah, we have all these
Raced 20, I think,
guys
for like
like
$3
hanging
grand.
out over there.
21.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you've got a lot of people over there.
Dude, New York's pool scene, I've always said it's the nuts. It's
Just not enough rooms. You
Yes,
guys, all
not
the
a
rooms
lot.
want you. I mean, but it's the rent. I
Yes,
mean, I
it's
hate
so
to pay.
expensive.
I haven't been to the new Amsterdam. I was in New York one time
Mm-hmm.
in year 2000 and went to the old ones.
How's Mr. New York City, Mika Eminem, doing?
Oh,
He's in Florida
great.
right now.
Yeah, right now. Because, well, he was supposed to come here for bonus ball, but it got delayed,
Okay.
postponed. So,
Is he on a team? I didn't know.
yes.
Okay.
He's
With
Rodney and Raj. I
Raj,
think.
yes.
Yeah.
Chicago Rockets.
Yes. I don't know why. Isn't he supposed to be in the-
Rockets.
Yeah, anyways. But so, because he's such a smart guy, he sublet his apartment.
Oh no! So now he has no place to
Yeah.
Is he
live.
back in the basement?
He tried, okay? But
That's kind of funny because we kept commenting on how much
But-
problems are causing people moving here. Forgot about how much problems are causing people where they're moving
leaving
from.
there.
Yes.
In the wrong place.
well, this time the car wasn't included, so he went to Florida,
okay.
so that kind of
He went
deal.
to Florida.
But anyways,
Wow.
yeah, he's in Florida for 3 weeks, I think, and hopefully by then the bonus ball will get going.
He's kind of disappeared from the pool scene. He's not doing as well as he was, but I think
Yes.
pool is a very, it's a
Cyclic
roller
game.
coaster, cyclical. Yeah, it
I
is.
think I think he's also going through a phase in his life. He
Taking a
just-
break or?
I don't. Maybe. He just celebrated his 40th.
Ah,
Me too.
Yeah. Oh,
Yesterday.
yes.
really?
Did you know that?
No.
I did.
And you
Thanks,
didn't buy him a
Monkey.
present?
No, well, we're going out later.
Dinner.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Remember
But
when you were
happy,
40?
happy.
Yeah,
About 50 years ago.
yeah. Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Shouldn't you be retiring now? You said 90, right? You told me you were retiring.
Yeah, it's right around the corner.
But no, New York is definitely we're getting a lot of great players. There is a room with all diamond tables, Society Village.
Society.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great
He's
room.
been there.
Yeah, great room.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really nice room.
A couple of
Had
A
amazing
lot of
drunk there one
tours.
night.
We have
Tony Robles, and
yeah,
that's a
Predator
BCA
tour.
sanctioned tour.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have the
You have a-
Tri-State tour.
you have a
with
MEZZ tour.
You got
yes.
Jim Murnack doing all that stuff with the pool sharks.
Yes,
The
and,
Pool Sharks is
um,
cool. He is really struggling with the.
Well, I don't.
He's-
I'm not on board with his newest.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah.
It's
Whatever.
tough.
But he's just such a pool fanatic.
I really enjoy it. I've had a couple
Yeah.
conversations. I'd love to just go have dinner with him or something.
But just
He's-
that
he-
whole scene is so cool.
Well, it's
man.
full of talent too.
Yeah,
I
great
mean,
talent.
Just, especially
You got
actors.
Jennifer Beretta out there.
Yeah.
Yes,
I mean,
Jennifer.
which we've actually got Jennifer coming in town next Tuesday for a top secret project.
Top secret.
Top secret.
Well, you
I can
can't
tell you
tell
later.
you.
Okay. Oh,
No, I
you
can't.
know.
Facebook it.
You
You Facebook
know
it.
you
He's
can
the
tell
one you
me.
can't tell. Right there.
Exactly.
I'm open to bribes. That's all I got to say. So,
We'll talk later.
listen,
Yeah.
we should
Yes.
quickly go
Oh,
on some
yeah,
things
Okay.
because we're running in.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Mr. Shannon Dalton on his
Yeah.
induction in the
Yay.
One Pocket Hall of Fame and Bank Pool Hall of
He
Fame.
did them both at the same time. The only time it's been done, other than
Wow.
the initial. process.
Extremely well-deserved honor for
He
Shannon.
just turned
It
40,
is.
I believe. So he's in the. He's
When
well
I
known.
was a kid in Cincinnati, in high school, 14, 15, 16
Yeah.
years old, he was the player that, you know how you always heard stories about that young kid?
Yeah,
who
Doughboy.
was shooting everybody's
Yeah, he
nuts
looked
in.
Doughboy?
He looked when he
Really?
was 19. He looked 13. I'm
Oh,
telling you.
wow.
But yeah, I mean, he was a legend even then.
Oh, yes, he was.
He was fearless, and but yeah, it's great to see, and it's cool to me that Shannon, has built his tour into what it is. I mean, those guys, he busts his ass.
He and Marge. He's done so well since
Yeah.
he met Marge.
Oh, yeah,
Now I don't
exactly.
know Marge that well, but he was
Yeah.
almost crying up on the stage
Yeah.
for his dad and everything. How you got here, but his
Right.
mom was there at the dinner,
Yeah.
and it was cool. But Marge is really, it's the
they're a
woman
great-
behind the
Yes.
man.
Yeah,
right?
they're a great pair, and they've
Yeah.
put together a great thing with
Yeah.
that.
Southwest
with his tour. So
That's great.
that's really cool to see. Yeah, and congrats to Steve Booth for being able to keep this thing.
This is a
He busts his ass to put this together.
next year is the 10th year.
Yeah.
I've been at every one of them. Yeah, and then
So-
Chris Gentile won the Action Award.
Okay.
And
How
that's
was
good.
the action there this year?
Very good. We had one poker player that Bobby Bolandi.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
was gambling a little bit with Jeanette and with Chris, and Eric Durbin was there in action, and he was in the running for a Hall of Fame, but that's ridiculous.
Man,
some people just need to go away.
Yeah.
I'm just we don't have to be too politically correct here. And when everybody says, "Oh, he's changed,"
Yeah.
Well, yeah, at 6 in the morning, he looks changed. Yeah. Just some people just will never learn.
Just keep my mouth
Yeah,
shut on
I
that
know.
one.
But the buzz was still down there at was the 10-foot and the straight pool and the Bigfoot challenge.
Where'd this Bigfoot thing come from?
It was a naming contest, and I'm trying to remember who named it that, and it was a girl. A Trigger. No, it wasn't. It was somebody, because I remember them saying thank you to so and so for coming up with the name. Maybe it was Ming. I think it was Ming.
Ming Ying?
Yeah, I think so. I
Bigfoot.
won't-
That,
It's,
yeah,
you know,
I
it
could see
fits.
her
It fits, yeah.
Well, Ming.
coming out with that Bigfoot name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of things, but some of these can continue. I will mention that BCA points, we'll have a discussion on that next podcast. Well, next podcast might be with the players. So
Okay.
after that, because Moscone's not using the BCA points, and we'll go over some BCA points stuff. I think we should have some discussions on undercards for some of the tar matches. I know a lot of people are screaming for them, but it would have to be race to 9 or something real short.
Have to be. Well, race to 9's too long. That can take 2 hours.
Yeah, it can't be. It has to be 30-second clock. I mean, it has to be just
Yeah.
boom. But when we have all the bonus ball players
Right.
here, we could have, because we can't overcome the travel budgets and things.
Well,
If-
see,
Exactly.
we'd have to do it for free, because ideally you want to drive people to the pay-per-view.
Sure.
Right.
So I guess you'd start at 2 hours early, have the
Right.
warm up.
Which would
Yeah.
mean, because we're doing this in the West Coast, you got guys playing at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
But it's just the pre-match.
Yeah.
It's, you know,
So, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it if it would be something interesting. You know, race to 7, race to 3, one pocket. You know, something like
something
that.
fast.
But
Something
it would
yeah.
have to be like a 2-hour time limit.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's something we can definitely talk
Sure.
about. There was a question for Miss Caroline from Fast Lenny. Why did they make the Power Break 2 shorter than standard 58 inches? Who had the idea? Was it performance? It breaks great, by the way.
Well, I think it was Kaz.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he just thought that unless you're a very tall person, you
Why don't
usually.
why don't
How
you tell
tall
people
is
what
it?
it is, if for people,
Yeah.
somebody who's not familiar with it? What
Okay,
is it?
well, the Power Break 2, it's basically a shorter break cue.
How much shorter?
4 inches approximately.
Whoa,
It's neat.
Yes.
54 inch.
Yes. So
Looks like
the
a duck
concept
cue when I
the
hold it.
concept
billiard
behind
cue.
all of it is that especially Japanese people, they're kind of shorter. But you usually don't hold, all the way at the end of the butt when you're breaking.
Sure.
You kind of jack up a little. So
Well,
they
that's
cut
so you get
off
arm speed, yep.
Yes. So they cut off the excess weight in the back. So you have a maybe like sturdier, more balanced cue, and when you break, it just follows through and it does not hit your forearm. It just goes straight into
That makes sense. But what's the what?
Now, did Mika break with one of those for a while?
Yes, he actually has both.
Yeah.
Because it depends, like which game or what table he's using and stuff like that.
Well, that's interesting. I'd never heard of the shorter. I understand the mechanics behind it, but
Yes.
do you weight it up now? Is it
Yes.
still coming
No.
in 18, 19 ounces? or-
The neat part is that it does have a weight belt in the butt, but it's a breakable butt.
Oh.
So it has 3 additional 2 ounce. No, actually, I think it's a 1/4 ounce weight
Rings or something?
Rings.
Okay.
And you can take them out,
Okay,
adjust
okay.
it, add it in.
Jeez.
So it's really all personal preferences too,
Cool.
weight wise. But it's really
'cause
neat.
54
I
inches
use
years
it.
ago.
Sarah Rousey used it. And
Sarah
look at her
Rousey
goal.
uses it. That's all
Tell
you need
what,
to know right there.
Sarah
folks.
Rousey still has one of the best breaks. I mean, she flat hits those, and you can hear it.
Yes.
It's
I
boom.
miss
Oh,
Sarah,
yeah.
man.
So do I.
And Cladicus.
Yeah.
Yes.
I saw
Are you
Clap
going
at the 9.
to Super Billiards Expo? You guys
Yes,
gonna have a
we're
booth?
going to be there.
There you go.
That's
all
April
the cool
this year.
kids back in
Yeah.
town, New
Yeah.
Jersey.
Yeah, it's in Edison, New Jersey.
Yeah,
so
it's right down. Yeah.
Yeah, we're
much
hoping
closer.
to reveal our top secret project at Super Billiards Expo.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if we
I
get it
can't
done in
wait to
time.
hear about it.
It really is. It's going to be
It
cool.
rhymes with Chippendale. No. I'm just kidding.
Oh, I
Irv.
see. I see. The picture's coming together.
Mark has season tickets to Thunder from Down Under.
Yeah, right.
I heard about you.
Oh, what? Oh, no. Really?
What else is going on? We're about time. 6:59. We've been at this an hour or so. TAR 31. Next Thursday we will have a podcast with Mike and Shane. I'll get a thread up so we can get some questions and things like that. Right now the betting lines on AZ. Shane's a giant favorite. I've seen one line at 3-1. I've seen a couple of 2-1 lines.
3 to 1's pretty strong.
3 to Bartram laid 3-1.
Well, Bartram bets good, so
Yeah. Well, Bartram, he's got a reputation for betting good, but Bartram just bets.
Yeah.
I mean, if he likes something, it don't necessarily have to be the
good.
right
It's
side.
just big.
He bets. It's what he does. you
he
know.
would fit great in the golden age of pool.
Absolutely.
He would have.
for sure.
He's one of those guys that would. would love to be on the road with Billy and Cardone going to play Jimmy Reed
Yeah.
or something, you know.
Yeah.
Those guys were great. Action everywhere.
But, you know, honestly, at 3-1, I'd have to probably bet on Mike.
Yeah.
At least a little something. But I don't bet on our matches.
Yeah.
So that's a big line. I think the closer one I've seen is 2-1. And then there was one, Mike getting 5 games per day, which is
Jumpin' Joe has always got some interesting lines on all kinds of different betting propositions. And he comes up with these off-the-wall things that you can see the method to his madness, I think, if you look at it. But he's interesting. I think he does okay. I think he's pretty sharp.
So there's been some pretty good talk in the action room about it, which is cool. It usually always picks up the week before. So next Thursday, podcast, Shane and Mike DeShane. And then Tar 31 starts. It's going to be 5 o'clock. What time? I think it's 7 or 8. I have to look. Whatever I said on there. We think it started at 4 or 5.
Yeah.
I think it's 4, which would be
It's
7.
7.
Eastern.
7,
Yeah.
yeah.
I might have bumped it an hour because we were a little early last time, I thought. Because with the shot clock, the matches are going
Right,
faster,
well,
yeah.
it was ending pretty early.
So
Which should be about a 4.5-hour match, probably.
I don't think
It'll-
so. Well,
It's
Well,
a little
it was
faster
always
hours,
it
but
was
sure
always
longer.
we were under 4 hours.
Yeah,
We raced
it was always
25 every day.
Well, you got
coming
back
up
down
11. It was
9:30.
done.
I thought it was about
Yeah.
4.5 hours with Appleton.
No.
Well, with the breaks and stuff.
Yeah,
but
Appleton and Shane were they were done
Not
at
4.5.
9:30.
they were done. The last day was under 4 hours.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mark just makes shit up.
I
and
know, I
states
do.
it as fact.
Yeah.
But Tar 31, excuse me. Like I said, Friday, Saturday, Sunday if necessary, and then the following Monday. Not
A week Monday.
A week from that following
10
Monday.
days.
Yeah, we'll be
US
at
bar
Reno,
table.
first day of the U.S. bar
Yeah,
table.
if you really can get, if any of you guys
And
never
we're
been
still
to
gonna
Reno,
work
just
out
really,
the,
you should come. I'm not kidding.
Get
I'm
Sarah.
thinking about
I'm
it.
going to start a petition. I'm going to start.
$22 sushi, $23.
All you can
Yeah.
eat 20,
We're
23
going to start like a
$24.
Facebook petition,
Yes.
like make Sarah
Please.
and Caroline go.
That's right.
to-
Otherwise, we'll never mention MEZZ cues or how good they are. And we're going to tell you, nobody will ever know that you were a nice person.
And you should bring Monkey and Buddha. Just bring
okay.
bring everyone from New York.
The New York crew,
Everyone
right?
from
Everybody.
New York.
Yeah, just bring them all.
Oh, I don't know
Just
if
bring
you
the
want
nice
them all
ones.
there.
Just bring the
that's
nice ones.
Can I bring Earl?
So U.S. Bar Table, I'll get the stuff out about how. Usually, what we've done in the past is we'll do like a free day and then some pay-per-view and then a free day.
At the bar table.
Yeah, which maybe we'll do it that way this year. Maybe we'll just do pay-per-view. I'm getting kind of Scroogey in my old age,
Yeah.
so
The first day is always kind of you have a cluster. You don't know, the field hasn't sorted out. You might have a,
Right.
usually the first day actually is some pretty. You might get one good match.
yeah. You might have
'Cause the
Shane
draws
playing
are so
somebody like
weak.
me or something.
Yeah,
you know, just-
exactly. And then as we get deeper into the tournament, we get a lot better matches. So
I promise not to end up in the hospital this time.
yeah,
I spent my week in the hospital last time.
yeah. He was lazy.
Yeah.
I was lazy. Yeah,
Lazy.
the easiest tournament I ever did.
Yeah.
I was there first day, and I go to the hospital, come back, and they're picking up the tables. It was cool.
That was great. You had a week off.
Everybody
Vacation.
else was working,
Yeah.
and actually everyone that worked the tournament was like, "Man, this is really nice this year." I can't put my finger on it.
Yeah.
It's-
What's
I don't know
missing?
why.
Everything's
Something's
running
missing,
so
I
smooth,
know.
and it's so quiet around here.
Yeah, you guys ran it smooth. You and your little argument with Mr. Moore.
It wasn't me. He was mad at you. You made the rules there, hero. Not me. You're the one he's shitty at.
Yeah. But it'll be
Actually,
fun.
I saw Stevie last weekend. We sat next to each other at the UFC fights.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Joe
He's
Rogan
looks
made a
like
nice
he's doing
post
well.
for you on one of those threads on AZ. He says, Tar's the best thing going. Pool
Yeah.
today.
Joe's a good man.
Yeah.
He's a funny guy.
I was going to throw one little oddball piece of information. And I don't mean to say this because it's down, but it was Mike Shamos had an interesting, or he writes in Billiards Digest. And he said in 1959 to 1913, the number of pool rooms, 7 out of 8 closed from 1913 to 1959 in New York. Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
Just,
Wow.
you know, and now from 59 to now, it's just, at one time there was, I believe it was 8,000 rooms in New York.
That's
It's kind of sad. They had a thing that was about Mosconi's era and how how they brought pool back. And I still have a lot of faith that pool will come back. There's a lot of things going on in the horizon. It'll never be mainstream, but it maybe,
Right.
you know. But we're having fun.
Bonus ball, dog.
No, we
Yeah,
just
okay.
need something.
Bonus
to make
ball.
Yeah.
Place your faith
Yeah.
in it.
If
It's the
see
future of pool, right?
Bonus ball and C.J. Wiley will show you
Hey.
the way.
The
The
game
game's
is
the
a
teacher, Mark.
Well, you know what I was going to
If
say
it's on
something.
the internet, it must be true.
Yeah.
Come
Saw
on.
it on the internet,
and
yo.
it's funny because before the thing, Justin and I were saying, well, we're gonna. I got a lot of things I want to talk about, but I'm not talking aiming systems or TOI. This has gone crazy, folks. You know, I mean, I don't care how. That's fine. You know, get all your advocates and everything, but don't consume the whole the thing. It's just, you know.
It's like kudzu. It just slowly
You know,
encroaches.
I didn't know you knew what kudzu was. So many people don't. It's
I'm
it's
smarter
it's
than most people.
well, I hope. You know, we're in trouble.
Saw
You know
it
what
on the
kudzu
internet.
is?
No,
See,
I have no idea.
it's a leaf of it's a tree, and what it does, it just
It's a vine.
and it just covers everything. They brought it over one time for erosion purposes.
Okay.
And sometimes you get in the south, it's up telephone poles and over trees, and
It overgrows everything. It looks like it's just eating it.
It
And
just
then the roots get in and screw
it
up like
just-
foundations and
Oh,
break
it's-
shit.
Wow.
It's a mess.
It
And
is-
It's hard as hell to kill.
yeah, it's just indestructible stuff.
Yeah, it's
KUDs,
nasty.
kudzu.
In the
Kudzu.
South, it's a big problem.
Wow.
I think it'd be a great name for a break cube.
Kudzu and wild pigs.
The kudzu.
What
Doesn't
about
that sound
the
good
kudzu
for?
aiming system?
Oh man.
Just kidding.
Yeah, I know. But anyhow, and before we shut down tonight, I do want to say one other thing. Dean Gumpton, who was one of the cameramen for AccuStats
Yes.
for, wow, I met him in '93 at Grady's tournament in Reno, the One Pocket tournament. And that was in '93, I believe. That's where I met Julian, too. But Dean passed away at the Derby City. He was the
I
camera
heard something
guy.
about that.
He
That's
was
really
the big
sad.
guy. He was Julian's buddy. They've been buddies for 45 years. Guy was 59 years old.
Wow, man.
And it hurt, you know.
Yeah.
So,
Well, condolences out to
Yeah.
and he was
that
a
whole
veteran.
family.
I get a lot of things. He was very pro veteran and, you know, rah 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 American flag and everything. But he's a pretty
Awesome.
cool dude too. He wore. If you ever been at the events, every year, one day he would wear a Anchorage Billiard Palace shirt, and or the big jacket with our big logo on it, and you know,
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
seen
That's
him.
Cool.
He's the guy with
So
the beard.
the guy with the
Yeah.
beard. Yeah,
Hotel, right? Found him in a hotel.
Yeah.
Passed away.
yeah. He and
Right.
Julian were sharing a room, and Julian went up to check on him.
Man,
Bummer.
that sucks.
El Bummer. You know.
Yeah.
But, you know, Dean was a very good guy, and hey, it happens. And, you know, again, condolences to Ronnie Allen.
Condolences, yeah.
Absolutely.
It's an end of an era with Ronnie Allen. I mean, it's just, you know, there's not 10 people left out of that. I mean, you know, they're all Jersey Red, Eddie Taylor, you know, Minnesota Fats, and then the
Right.
Moscone, all the straight pool guys. All those guys you read about are all gone. I mean, you got Jimmy Reed, Ian Cardone, Cole Dixon, Keith McCready, you know, Rempe Siegel, and that
Right.
crew. But those are a younger crew. They weren't, you know, Buddy Hall, but, you know,
Right.
the real old time, they're just, you know. But, hey, life goes on.
Okay, Caroline, we'll
Hey,
like
this
to
was
thank
fun.
you
It
for
was
joining
Did you
fun.
us.
get nervous?
you.
It wasn't that bad, was it? She got
No.
so nervous when we got here. She said, I'm not going to say a thing. I said, no, we're going to
I was going to have to sit next to you. I get nervous too.
Oh,
Really? Oh, that's why you're sitting over there.
Yeah, that's why I'm comfortable
I
right
wanted
now.
to be in that corner over there, but
Guys, listen,
no.
you know.
It was fun. Thank you so much for having me.
And thanks everyone for joining us. TAR 31 next week. Hit it on Facebook, Twitter, all that good stuff.
Yep.
Yep.
Pump it
this
up, make it
week.
happen.
You can visit MEZZ USA at.
MEZZUSA.com.
That's it.
That's easy.
And any and all hate mail or suggestions, mark at playcsipool.com.
Yeah, I will actually answer them. That's the, see,
That is true.
I just answer every
Yes.
email.
It does.
We call him Mr. Feedback, folks. So, all right.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining
No,
us.
thank you very
you.
much. And a shout out to the people that said hi to me at the Derby City. I've had probably 10 people come up and say, I watch every podcast.
Cool.
That's
And it's
great.
amazing. I mean, really, I've probably had, and when I was at Super Billiards Expo, I had 10 or 20 there. It's, you know, see, they know what I look like. I don't know who they are, though.
You're a
Anyhow.
superstar.
You done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay. All right.
Good night, all.
Bye.
Good night.
You got to have fun if you're going to do it, you know? Jeez.